Knuckle Dragon Patriot here. I know it's been a while. The project I'm working on today is my commuter bike. I now have a split commute. I drive, gonna take the train, gonna cycle the last 4.5 miles in to work, and then 4.5 miles out and do it all over again. So I got my 2001 Diamondback Response that I am converting into a commuter. Put new tires on it, new used tires, panniers and such. What I'm working on now is the suspension forks. These are RST 281Rs. These are bottom dollar cheap suspension forks that come on cheap bikes. And the research that I've done shows that suspension forks are pretty much worthless unless you're really off-road. What they do is they suck up your energy when you're climbing hills or trying to accelerate. And I've had it with it. I don't even bother standing up trying to pump up the hill because I can just feel the energy sucked into the forks. So what I'm going to do now is make them rigid forks. Of course, I'm not going to show you the whole process because I can't do it with one hand, but I'm going to show you some hacks that I used to get to this point. These are the springs that came out of the forks. One of the biggest complaints about these cheap forks is how heavy they are. And I'm going to show you how much weight I'm going to jettison just by getting rid of these springs. 292 grams. Now, I'm not a gram person. I ride with panniers and such. But for tutorials on bike maintenance and to take these forks apart, I would suggest RJ the Bike Guy here on YouTube. And I went to his tutorial and showed me how to take these forks apart. It's really simple. Now, Value Rider is a hack I went to. These tubes, 85 grams. What he does with his tubes is he cuts them down the side, making a slit, and then snaps them on, and that locks out the suspension, much to the detriment of the grease seals. I wouldn't recommend doing this unless you've just had it with the forks and you're just changing what you're doing with the bike like I am. But what I did is I just got the right diameter, took the fork apart, slipped this on, springs were still here, and I put on the fork and screw the fork back into place right here, and this kept it rigid, but it also added some weight. No worries. Something else with it, as you can see, the cuts are all a mess, so it's not very pretty. So what I've decided to do is jettison the springs. Cut these two tubes to 100 millimeters. You can see they're real close. I used a pipe cutter. Gives nice, clean, easy cuts. And I'm going to use 2-part epoxy on the inside here. I'm going to coat it up real liberally on both tubes. Slide it in and let it get glued altogether. Yeah. Some of you will comment, hey, if you want to get rid of some weight, get rid of this rack. I understand. The purists out there are going to say this is dangerous, and yeah, good luck with this. I just want to point out that that piece of plastic right there is what holds these forks into the tube. The springs screw into a receiver inside the forks, and of course all this is rusted up to some extent or another. So that is the plan. I did have 3.5 inches here with the new setup. I'm going to change the pitch of the bike for better response and such. So I'm taking 1.5 inches off, so the forks are going to sit a little bit lower, and give that a try. So after I jettison these 10 ounces, and this weight, I am going to add just these 35 grams to this. So I'm going to take a lot of weight off the front end. Use the calipers to make sure that this was right fit. And just slide them down the holes. And I will put several amounts of glue in here. Some other props here. Check out the Wish app. I got these mountain bike splash guards. They're very light for what they are. Shipped to my door. I believe it was $3.75-ish to get a pair of mud flaps. They bolted right up. They work well. Do have a little bit of shipping damage or what have you, you know, but you know, as I put it, I work on trucks, I drive trucks, my bike is a truck, so that's just something there. Reflectors, I am getting rid of those too. I saw something else on a new product that's being introduced. It's reflectors, and what it is stickers, and I just hacked it and used DOT white stickers and folded them around the spokes. I'm going to see how those work. So feel free to rate, feel free to comment, positive or negative. I know a lot of the blogs that look way down on doing something like this, but this is not going to jump stumps anymore. It's pretty much for roads, sidewalks, and bike paths now. I'm getting too old to play in the woods. And give me your feedback, and thank you for taking a few minutes to watch with me. Feel free to subscribe.